Alright, for this demo we are going to be looking at a solo controller, an epic level monster, which you have here. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, so let's call her Blib for short. So what I've done is I've already done the F4 and I've got the player token and the library token there, so let's take a look at the player token. And this looks pretty intimidating. Okay, I know I said that you have to go through each of these powers and make sure they're in proper MM1 format, and that is true because this is originally an MM3 format monster, but good news is that the hash marks for MM3 monsters are going to be correct because it puts these together manually and makes sure that they're at the beginning of each power like they're supposed to be. The bad news, as I said, you still have to make sure that they are properly in MM1 order, which these happen to be, luckily. I want to show you this. This little part here at the end of this power. Notice that there's only one left bracket. Now that's going to trip up the importer. It needs a matching right bracket for all. So let's make it simple by just, deleting that part there. So that makes it okay. The rest of these are in proper format. So we've done that. We've made sure that all the stats have been parsed correctly, gone through all that good stuff. And that looks good. Say okay. So now we're ready to do the import monster. So let's do that. And it's going to go through and it's going to do the bash import. It starts off with its basic attack like it usually does. And make sure that yaps an attack and all that. And that looks correct. Say OK. Now it's found a state that it's going to do. It's going to impart the slowed state. And okay, I don't know why it asked twice. I'll look at that later. But we'll say OK again there. Immobilize. This is on the first failed saving throw. As you can see, I've got the description open in the compendium right beside so I could follow along, make sure that it's doing a proper job, and we'll say okay to that. And what I'll do is in the background it'll arrange those powers correctly so the cascading effect takes effect. Now call lightning. This is interesting because this is a zone, as you can see from the keyword here. What you want to do is make sure none is in here for the sustain. That makes sure that the zone will last until the end of the encounter, which is what we want. All this stuff looks correct from the attack point of view. Yep, it's an area burst, each enemy in burst, good. Now look at that. You'll notice that it's made a zone token. It's just a duplicate of the original token, but we'll look at that later. Now it's found an attack penalty state, a condition, an effect, and also combat advantage all. That's what it does when it does the call lightning. So Fury of the Sea Mother. So that's a, let's take a look at that. Just a descriptive power that she can do. Run a few extra things in there. Drowning Curse. This is a recharge power. Okay, this is interesting. Let's take a look at this. Yes, it recognizes it as a recharge. Say okay. Now, the thing is this is a recharge when bloodied, so that's not really a number. This only takes numbers. So let's say 0, and it'll treat it as a regular encounter power. Again, that'll slow. It'll do some ongoing untyped. And yes, we do want to link these two together because if you look at the description, it is a save ends both powers. So we'll say okay there. And this is the creature's aura. Now, notice it says end here. That's because it knows that the aura only goes off when somebody ends their turn in the aura. So close burst 2, this is all correct. So we'll say okay there. Let's choose a color. I don't know, orange. It's a nice color, so it distinguishes from other auras that may be on the battlefield. Now, Divine Recovery, if you'll see this in the traits section, this is just a descriptive power, so we'll say okay. Same with Aquatic. And they actually get a bonus against non-aquatic creatures, so that's what that's all about. Now, this is the last one, I believe. This is the triggered action. This is Mental Contagion. So this does a few more interesting things. Yes, it's an attack. Remember, always checking all the fields all the time. Dimension Door, we all know what that is. We have some teleporting. Lure of the Sea, and this is the last one, the minor one, I think. And that actually does some forced movement, so it'll take advantage of the framework's forced movement capability. And we're done. So what you want to do is take off the zone, make sure you're on the non-live one, and then go to Frankenstein's Lab, convert to spell. And now that that's done, we can do an aura power on there, just like we did before, and that'll be it. Thanks for watching.